You do not need $50,000 to buy a good RV. And you definitely do not need to buy one from the big factory brands that half the internet is complaining about. Every week there is another post about a brand new trailer showing up with leaks, loose fittings, and cheap parts falling apart before the first trip. That is what happens when companies build thousands of units a month on an assembly line and care more about volume than quality. But there are smaller RV companies out there doing things the right way. They build by hand, use real materials, and stand behind their products. Their used rigs are on the market right now for a fraction of what big dealers charge for something new that might fall apart in 2 years. Hand-built and built to last. Here are 5 of them, all under 15 grand. Number 5, the Aliner Classic. If you have never seen an Aliner, picture a hard-sided pop-up that folds completely flat for towing and storage, then pops up into an A-shaped cabin in about 30 seconds. You pull one latch on each side and the whole roof lifts into place. That is it, done. You are set up and camping while the person next to you is still messing with their leveling jacks. Aliner is made by a small company called Columbia Northwest out of Pennsylvania. They have been building these since the mid-1980s, and they have a loyal following, especially with retirees who want something dead simple to tow and set up. The classic model weighs around 1,500 pounds. So you can pull it with an SUV, a crossover, or a small truck. It comes with a little kitchen area, a dinette that converts to a bed, and depending on the version, a small wet bath. When you are done camping, the whole thing folds flat to about 4.5 feet tall, which means it fits in a standard garage. That is a huge deal if you do not want an RV parked in your driveway all winter. Used Aliners from the years 2010 to 2019 are going for $5,000 to $10,000. They are not fancy inside, but they are durable and ridiculously easy to use. And because they fold flat, you get way better gas mileage towing one compared to a full-height travel trailer. Some owners report barely noticing it as back there on the highway. If you want the simplest possible camping setup that still gives you a real roof over your head and a bed to sleep in, this is it. Number 4, the Lance 825 or 850 truck camper. This one is for anyone who already has a pickup truck. If you have a 3/4 ton or 1 ton, a Lance truck camper turns that truck into a full RV for way less than a motorhome. Once you get to camp, you pop the camper off and drive your truck around like normal. Lance has been building truck campers in California since 1965. Their construction uses composite panels instead of wood, so you get better insulation, less weight, and no rotting. Older models from 2008 to 2015, like the 825, 850, and 865, are showing up used for $6,000 to $12,000. That gets you a fully self-contained rig with a kitchen, a small bathroom, a bed in the cab over, plus a furnace and air conditioning. Some even come with a small generator for off-grid camping. Truck campers are cozy. If you need a ton of space, it might feel tight after a few days. But if you like the idea of going down dirt roads, into national forests, and onto BLM land where big trailers cannot reach, a Lance is hard to beat. In many states, you do not even need to register it separately. Your truck insurance covers it. When camping season is over, you lift the camper off, and your truck goes back to being a truck. No extra vehicle sitting around. But this next one is something special if you want quality in a small package. Number 3, the New Camp TAB 320S New Camp builds these teardrop-shaped trailers by hand in Sugar Creek, Ohio, right in the heart of Amish country. And you can tell. The FIT and finish on these little trailers is a cut above what you get from the big factory brands. Everything is tight, everything lines up, the cabinets close properly, the seals are done right. It sounds like a small thing until you have dealt with an RV where nothing fits right out of the factory. The TB320S is about 15 feet long and weighs under 2,000 pounds. It comes with a wet bath, a kitchen, a dinette that converts to a bed, air conditioning, and a heating system that actually works well in cold weather. The S model is the one you want because it has the bathroom inside. The base model puts the kitchen outside under a rear hatch, which some people like but others find annoying. Used Tab 320 models from 2017 and 2018 are selling in the $8,000 to $14,000 range. A 2018 model in New Jersey recently sold for under $8,000, and you can occasionally find similar deals if you watch the listings. The community around these little trailers is great too. Owners are helpful, there are rallies and meetups, and you can find answers to just about any question on the New Camp forums. That kind of support matters when you are buying used and need to figure out how something works. If you are finding this useful, hit subscribe. We cover deals like these every week. Number 2, the Scamp 13. Scamp is a small company in Bacchus, Minnesota that has been quietly building some of the toughest little trailers on the road since 1972. They do not advertise much. They just keep making good trailers and letting the owners spread the word. The Scamp 13 is lightweight and weighs under 1,500 pounds. You can tow it with a mid-size sport utility vehicle, a minivan, or even some crossovers. You do not need a truck. The shell is fiberglass, molded in 2 pieces and sealed together. There are no seams running down the sides, no plywood that can rot, and no rubber roof to reseal every year. You wash it and wax it like a boat. That is why you see Scamps from the 1980s still rolling down the highway looking fine. Inside, you get a dinette that converts to a bed, a kitchen with a sink and stove, and in the deluxe version, a tiny wet bath. It is tight, but for a couple doing weekend trips or even longer road trips, it is plenty. Used Scamps from the 2000s and in the 2010s sell for $5,000 to $12,000. And here's the wild part. Some 20-year-old models sell for just a couple thousand less than they cost brand new. That resale tells you everything about how well these are built. Because they are so light and small, campground fees tend to be cheaper too. A lot of state parks charge by rig length, so a 13-foot Scamp gets you the lowest rate. Over a season of camping, that adds up. Now, number 1, this is the one that might be the best kept secret in the used RV market. Number 1, the Casita Spirit Deluxe. Casita is a small company in Rice, Texas that has been building fiberglass travel trailers since 1983. Same town, same factory, same family-run operation for over 40 years. The owners of these trailers are borderline obsessed. There are online communities with thousands of members. Waiting lists for new ones stretch over a year. That kind of loyalty does not happen with a bad product. Like the Scamp, the Casita is built from 2 pieces of molded fiberglass that fit together like a clamshell. There are no seams in the walls, no wood framing that can rot, and no rubber roof to deal with. You wash it, wax it, and go camping. That is the entire maintenance routine. The Spirit Deluxe is 17 feet long, weighs about 2,480 pounds, and comes with a wet bath, a 2-burner stove, a fridge, a microwave, air conditioning, and a furnace. Big windows all around for light and fresh air. What sets the Casita apart is the quality of parts. Every appliance and piece of hardware is brand name stuff. They do not cut corners with cheap parts that break after 2 trips. You can find 20 and 30-year-old Casitas that still look great inside and out. Owners have towed 100,000 miles and the shell barely shows its age. Used Casitas from the late 2000s to the mid-20 teens sell for $10,000 to $15,000. Older models from the 1990s and early 2000s go for $6,000 to $9,000, and they still have plenty of life left. Setup at camp takes 10 minutes. Back in, drop the tongue, hook up, done. You are not wrestling with slide outs or fiddling with leveling systems. Just park it and relax. The downside is they are small, and a tall person will feel cramped in the wet bath. Because resale is so high, good deals go fast. Best places to look are the Casita owner forums and Facebook Marketplace, but move quick. A fairly priced Casita usually has buyers lined up within a day. If you can find one in your budget, grab it. This is the kind of trailer you buy once and keep for life. 3 quick tips before you go shopping. First, get a pre-purchase inspection from an independent RV inspector. Not the dealer's guy, your own guy. The NRVIA has a directory of certified inspectors on their website. Second, check the roof, floors, and around every window for water damage. Water kills more RVs than anything else. Soft spots mean walk away. Third, buy private when you can. Private sellers usually maintain their rigs better, and you skip the dealer markup that adds thousands to the price. That is the list. 5 used RVs, all under $15,000, all from companies that actually care about what they build. If you want to see which trucks pair best with these trailers, that video is on screen now.